So how does this all work and how do you know if you qualify? What's happening, everybody? It's Huddy and we're talking about student loan forgiveness. In April, President Biden made historic reforms to income-driven repayment programs. Those include income-based repayment programs. That's been reformed. They now call it pay as you earn. This includes families to be able to make payments based on their family size and their income. Public loan forgiveness, so if you've worked for a nonprofit or a government agency for 10 years, well, there's a good chance you can get those student loans forgiven. However, those program guidelines have been relaxed, so if you're in that, I have a link in the description. You can go there and see if you qualify for that. Teachers, if you've worked for a low-income school, whether it's elementary, middle school, or high school for at least 5 years, you could get up to $17,500 forgiven from your student loans. Again, I got a link to that in the description. Feel free to check it out. If your school was closed and you had no way to go back to school and you had student loans taken out, a PFEL loan or a Perkins loan, you might be eligible to have those loans forgiven. There's a link in the description as well. Click on it and see if you qualify. So if you have Perkins loans, they're going to take a look at your employment history or volunteer history, and you could potentially get all of your Perkins loans discharged or forgiven. Again, link in the description. Total permanent disability. If that's you, you could qualify to have your student loans forgiven. And I've helped people do that in the past. It's not a very difficult process, and they're speeding that process up as well. Link in the description to see if you qualify. Borrower defense repayment. This one's interesting. So if you went to a school and the school failed to do something either in regards to the loan or to the educational services in which the loan was intended for, you could actually get that loan forgiven, not have to pay it back. Link in the description. So let's say you went to a school and you dropped out. You just said, this isn't for me and I just can't do it. And you feel like you're stuck with student loans. Well, the school should have sent a portion of that loan back to the lender. Well, if they didn't, so if you went to the school, you dropped out and the school didn't send a portion of that money back, there's a chance you could get some of that money forgiven. So you might want to check out that link is also in the description. Parent Plus loans is another type of loan where you can look to have it forgiven. The way that works is if the parent dies, the student could look to have that loan forgiven. If the student dies, which would be unfortunate, you could also have that forgiven. If the student couldn't finish the school or the program because the school closed, that's another way that the student loan could be forgiven on a Parent Plus loan. Your eligibility to receive the loan was falsely certified by the school, so that's another way you could look at getting it forgiven. Your eligibility to receive the loan was falsely created through identity theft. That's another way to get your loan forgiven. If the kid withdrew from school, well, that school's got to pay a refund back to the lender. So if they didn't do that, that's another way a Parent Plus loan could be forgiven. A link below in the description to see if you qualify. You might be facing a tax situation. They could send out a 1099-C, so it could affect you. So any of that loan that was forgiven, they might be looking at as income for you. So that could cause a problem. However, right now there is the Rescue Plan Act, which means that they can't tax you on any portion that was forgiven. That's good through 2025, but that doesn't mean if it's not made permanent, it doesn't mean that in 2026 you could get that little 1099-C form and it could cause a situation for you in your taxes. So you might want to learn more about that. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment or video ideas. You can drop those as well. Thanks for checking out this video. We'll see you at the next one.